With a budget of £30,000, I turned this run-down 2-bed mid-terrace into a desirable 3-bed, raising its value by almost £100,000. The house needed a total renovation. It had single glazed windows and no central heating, with a back garden that looked like something out of Jumanji. It had been on the market for almost 2 years. People were put off by its dated features, work in progress bathroom, and that back garden. It did, however, come with some interesting items found in the bedroom and attic. This video is a time-lapse of the 9 months it took me to complete this total renovation. I'm no professional, just someone who enjoys a bit of DIY, and to keep costs down I took on a lot of the work myself. In hyper speed you'll see me slaying monster trees, battling building work, trying new skills like joinery, overcoming stupid mistakes, and making decisions that break the budget. All while constantly pushing forward to achieve that £100,000 increase in value. On screen I'm going to add text explaining what's happening, my top tips, key mistakes, and must-have tools. My dream is to renovate an epic property in Italy someday, hopefully soon. This experience gets me a step closer. I'm going to share my future projects on this channel, so feel free to subscribe and follow. Anyway, I'll jump back in at the end to share the final costs, timings, and lessons learned. Hopefully you can take something from it. This is Paul vs House. Just going to get stuck in and hopefully there's not too many spiders. pressing gown. Oh my god, we made it. What an effort. Overall, I'm super happy with how the house turned out. You'll see now in the before and after, you know, it looks and feels brand new. I thought it would take maybe 5 months, but it took almost double, so 9 months in total. I think mainly because it was my first full renovation, so I spent a lot of time trying to find the right tradespeople. Plus, tackling many of the jobs myself as an amateur really slowed things down. Annoyingly, I also went over budget by about £6,000, spending £36,000 instead of £30,000. For those who like detail, I'll flash my spreadsheet on screen so that you can pause and see how much all the different aspects cost and an idea of timings. A few things to look out for that pushed me over is waste removal. I thought I'd need 3 skips, I ended up using 7. And then there's the jobs that I planned to do myself but didn't, like the driveway. And then there's the general bits and bobs, so the 1,000 trips to B&Q and Wickes and the general hardware stores, buying things like tools, clothing, screws, all those little spends just really start to add up. The only thing I think I would have done differently is that I wouldn't have reused the old toilet. It's small, it doesn't flush great, it's the only one on the property, but I thought, I need to save money, I'm running out of budget, I'll just reuse the toilet that's there. But it's the only toilet in the house, so it's like the heart of the home. So for the couple of £100 it would have cost to change it, I should have changed it. On the flip side, I'm glad I spent extra money on the designed stained glass fanlight that's above the bathroom. That's in the center of the house as well, so it's a really strong feature that gives the house more of a premium feel. Overall, it was worth it for that £100,000 boost in value, which is amazing, but also the sense of satisfaction from restoring this old rundown house into something really nice. This renovation gets me a big step closer to the Italian dream. Remember to subscribe for updates. I also intend to improve my on-camera skills over time to vlog more in-the-moment advice. Anyway, I hope you took something from this. Thanks for watching. Paul 1, House Nil. Cringe.